What does it mean to be a poet and a woman in a world that has so often tried to silence both? I can't pretend to know, but the following poets do. Today, we're travelling from east to west, discovering the women whose words cut through centuries, borders, and silence. Poets who wrote with heart, fire, and fearless honesty. Hello my friends, Gary Goals and fellow poets, welcome back to the channel. In my last video, we explored the greatest national poets around the world. And yes, several women featured in that video too. From Emily Dickinson to Anna Akhmatova, they are without doubt some of the greatest poets that have ever lived. So in this video, I didn't want to repeat any names, so they won't be featuring in this video. Instead, we're setting off on a fresh poetic journey together. One that stretches from China to Canada to discover 13 women poets who shaped the world with their words. So why wait? Let's jump in. Our first stop on our poetic journey around the world is to China. Introducing Qingzhao, a master of elegant sorrow. Qingzhao, writing in the 12th century, is considered the greatest female poet in Chinese literary history. Her voice is intimate and dignified and full of longing and grief. She lived through war and personal loss, and yet her voice is still full of grace, quiet, profound, and haunting.
Sorrow of separation. The lotus has wilted, only a faint perfume remains. On the bamboo mat there's a touch of autumn chill. Softly I take off my silk dress and step on board my orchid skiff alone. Who is sending me the letter of brocade from beyond the clouds? When the wild geese return, the moon will be flooding the west chamber. Flowers fall and drift away, water glides on after their nature. Our yearning is the sort both sides far apart endure, a melancholy feeling there's no resisting. As soon as it leaves the eyebrows, it surges up in the breast.
From China we now go to Slovenia/Switzerland. Ilma Rakusa, a poet of in-betweens. Multilingual and multicultural, Ilma Rakusa's work reflects the identity of someone who never fully belongs in one place. She writes about displacement, language, memory with gentle urgency and introspection. A voice for those who live between worlds.
The bread is burnt. The bread is burnt. The pencil trembles in my hand, my tongue is cramped, eyes crying no tears, a leaden heart, head splitting apart, the cupboards are bare, silence the house where he doesn't come anymore.
Now let's head to Poland. For Poland, I've chosen Wislawa Szymborska. Irony and insight. Nobel Prize winner Wislawa Szymborska had a unique gift. She could make you cry and laugh in the same stanza. Her work is philosophical, ironic, and completely unpretentious.
The three oddest words. When I pronounce the word future, the first syllable already belongs to the past. When I pronounce the word silence, I destroy it. When I pronounce the word nothing, I make something no non-being can hold.
Now, let's head over to Germany. Gertrude Kolmar, the silenced voice. Kolmar was a Jewish German poet whose deeply introspective and symbolic poetry was tragically cut short when she was murdered in Auschwitz. She wrote of the inner world with mythic intensity. Her work feels prophetic and heartbreakingly unfinished.
The Swan. Oh, a swan, blooming in grace and power. Were you thrown out of the forest of reeds by Pan to flourish as a white rose flower? Do not doubt. Over the tired waves an unearthly light shines out. He hides his bright plumage. The face of the flood tide grows clearer and clearer to see. Poppy milk ripples, runs wide, where the wings rested momentarily. Image of woman, he sings the deepest of deaths. Out of the glass cold dew, the sweet silence drips from his breath. Cup of down, defenceless, utterly abandoning, he has forgotten the sound and the dreams by evening. Floating, drifting, changed into golden grey, the swan is singing a song whose end is sadness and decay.
Now we move down into Iran. Farrokhzad, the revolutionary. Forough redefined what it meant to be a female poet in the 1950s Iran. Her boldness cost her dearly, but her art never wavered. She wrote with honesty, hunger, and a refusal to be silenced.
Call to arms. Only you, O Iranian woman, have remained in bonds of wretchedness, misfortune, and cruelty. If you want these bonds broken, grasp the skirt of abstinacy. Do not relent because of pleasing promises. Never submit to tyranny. Become a flood of anger, hate, and pain. Excise the heavy stone of cruelty. 'Tis your warm, embracing bosom that nurtures proud and pompous man. 'Tis your joyous smile that bestows on his heart warmth and vigour. For that person who is your creation, to enjoy preference and superiority is shameful. Woman, take action because a world awaits and is in tune with you. Sleeping in a dark grave is happier for you than this abject servitude and misfortune. Where is that proud man? Tell him to bow his head henceforth at your threshold. Where is that proud mane? Tell him to get up because a woman is here rising to battle him. Her words are the truth, in which cause she will never shed tears out of weakness.
Now to Syria/France. Maram al-Masri, Exile and Eros. Maram's poetry is short and devastating. She writes of love, war, and womanhood in stripped-down, aching language. A poet of intimacy and absence, she speaks for those caught between countries, identities, and expectations.
Knocks on the door. Knocks on the door. Who? I sweep the dust of my loneliness under the rug. I arrange a smile and open.
Okay, let's head over to the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, we have Véronique Tadjo. Véronique Tadjo blends African folklore with global feminism. She gives voice to ancestors, spirits, and history. Written in response of the Ebola crisis, her book is a poetic meditation on humanity, loss, and healing.
You have broken the mirror in which you would look at yourself, and you don't recognize yourself anymore. You don't even know how to write your own name or what your voice sounds like.
Okay, for this next one, we're coming home, at least for me anyway, to the United Kingdom. For the UK, I've been absolutely, completely biased and went with one of my favourite poets of all time, and that's Ann Duffy. The first woman poet laureate of the UK, Ann Duffy writes with lyricism, wit, and deep emotional intelligence. She speaks to the personal and the political, the messy truth of being alive. Now, let's fly over to Greece. Greece we have Sappho. Her work survives in fragments, but her power is undiminished. She wrote of passion, jealousy, and desire, often about other women, over 2,500 years ago, and it's still electric. Alright, let's head further west now, over to Jamaica. Lorna Goodison, Heart and Heritage. Lorna's poetry honours the Caribbean experience, its mothers, its music, its pain, and its joy. She writes of faith, femininity, and resilience, grounding the personal in the spiritual. Over into Argentina now with Alejandra Pizarnik. The surreal soul. Her poems are intense, dreamlike, and often explore the self in moments of silence, madness, and reflection. She dared to write about things that others were too afraid to name.
From the other side. Years and minutes of making love. Green masks in the rain. Church windows with obscene stained glass. Blue fingerprint on the wall. I don't know it. I don't acknowledge it. Dark. Silence.
Now, let's go north to our penultimate location, the United States of America. United States, I've gone with power and presence, and of course, it's Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou transformed her pain into poetry, performance, and purpose. A voice of resistance, dignity, and unshakable confidence. Angelou didn't just write, she lifted generations.
Caged bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Further north now, into Canada. I'm sure you have already guessed this one. Margaret Atwood, the sharp observer. Best known for The Handmaid's Tale, of course. Margaret Atwood's poetry is every bit as piercing as her fiction. Her verses ask us to challenge convention, question power, and examine the very words we use to express feeling.
You fit into me. You fit into me like a hook into an eye. A fish hook, an open eye.
A constellation of voices, all blazing in their own different ways. They redefined what it could be, from mythology to protest, from sensuality to silence. They gave us their truths and invited us to find ours. Which of these poets have you read, and which ones are new to you? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you would swap any of my choices out, let me know who you would replace them with. Drop your favourite poets in the comments down below. And better yet, why not share a favourite line of theirs too? And if this video sparks something in you, please do hit that like button. It's completely free and it takes just a few seconds, but it does really help me and the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button too if you want more poetry related content here on YouTube. This whole channel is about everything poetry and we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're almost there. And if you really loved this video and if you really love this channel, and you can, please do consider becoming a channel member. It really helps me financially continue to make better and bigger content. I have so many ideas for bigger content and documentaries and stuff like that, but I need your help in order to do that. And remember, poetry is for everyone, but sometimes when women take the page, in a world that has so often told them not to, it becomes a radical act. These voices I've shared with you in this video span centuries and continents. They remind us that no matter where you're from, who you are, poetry can be your home. So, wherever you are right now, write boldly, read deeply, and remember, someone, somewhere, is waiting to hear your voice.